Hey everyone, what's going on? So me and R.A here have been talking for the past 5 minutes, and we didn't realize it wasn't live. So uh, we're really dumb, and I apologize for that. But that gave people extra time to come into the chat, and yeah. So uh, stink ass cat, sorry about that. Nova Sonic, yeah, boy, I see that. There's Ben Smith. How you doing, buddy? Haven't seen you in a while. There's Robert. When we starting? And I actually was talking oh, we just did start, but no, you didn't see that. And then there's Jay Wright. Sorry about that. Yeah. So how we doing? Someone comment if you hear me. We got a thumbs up there. Yeah. So it seems like this is John Ranella. So yes, if I can just get a little bit more confirmation that everyone hears me. Oh, they missed me playing the Ace Ventura. That was the big opening bit that I was going, and I was distracted by the Ace Ventura handheld game. But it turns out I really was distracted. I figured just you scheduled one, so it just starts. But you have to schedule it and hit the button to actually start the thing. There's Mike is fun, loud and clear, Poppy. Oh, that's good to hear. So yeah, everyone's doing good. So we're going to be talking about the movies that we saw. I saw 32 movies this year, new ones for 2023, which is I'm down a little bit, partially because I have a little bit less free time than I've had in the past. In 2019, I think I saw 50 movies. And yeah, so this one's just 32. I feel the first 3 months or so of the year was really good. And then it kind of went, it slowed down and there weren't as many good movies. And then it just picked up the last 2 months or so. And yeah. And right off the bat, yeah.
The end of the summer did have a lot of movies pulled from the schedule because of the strike.
Oh, okay.
So I know, I wonder, if Dune, that was a big one. That was the one that everyone was looking forward to, and that got pulled. So, that probably left a little bit of a cavity there.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give honorable mention to John Wick 4. Did you see that one?
Yes.
Okay, so I thought it was a little bit boring in the beginning, and then awesome action throughout. It just kind of didn't bring anything that new to the table for it to be in my top 10, but I did enjoy it a lot.
It does have, in my opinion, wins the award for a most clever insertion of a Family Guy gag into a serious action movie.
Is it a direct thing, or it just reminds you of Family Guy?
It reminds me when he keeps falling down the stairs.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We're talking about the Family Guy. Ben Smith says EC Dub. You think that scene? We have to talk about Ben. You keep talking over me. Don't do that. No. So EC Dub. Some people say that it's EC. I hear people chant. They go ECW, ECW, ECW. But I think the actual chant is EC Dub, EC Dub, EC Dub. But if you're typing it, it's okay to see ECW. You don't have to write out dub. That's just a little silly. The pepperoni roll bandit. As a Falcon, I'd fly into the parking lot of drive-ins to avoid costly admission prices. That is a good idea, but then the problem is you have to stay flying in the air the whole time, and your wings get tired, because if you land, they're going to come over and charge you. That's the problem. You're live, Joseph Rodriguez says. Hey, Joseph. And then Rock Guitar School. Oh, there's little Robbie. Love me some Falcon. Caw. You guys need to do this every week. Maybe every 52 weeks. No, every week, maybe. That's up to R.A. No. Do you have any honorable mentions there?
Yes. First honorable mention would be Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. Okay. An honorable mention among thieves.
Ooh.
I thought like it was very definitely like a delightful movie. Like I probably felt the happiest coming
Yeah.
out of it that I did anything.
Yay, yippee, I'm happy.
But because I am like a weird miserable nerd, like a lot of my top 10 movies are movies that also make me feel a little uncomfortable.
Okay. So it wasn't uncomfortable enough for you.
Right. I mean, that's fine. I'm glad. The only thing that made me uncomfortable, that made me sad, was seeing the Mario Brothers movie like kick its ass at the box office.
Oh. Yeah, I saw Mario Brothers. It was just okay. It was fine for what it was.
It was
controversial. No, maybe not controversial.
No, it's controversial. No, like basically it's like has people like thinking Rotten Tomatoes is a cabal or something because it has like a 50-50 rating.
Yeah. So split there. Fernando says, like, which movies made you uncomfortable? I'm sure we'll get to that later in the list. We don't want to, spoil the movies. Alrighty then. So yeah. I enjoyed Dungeons and Dragons. I saw that one. But let's go to number 10. And my number 10 is going to be The Holdovers, the Alexander Payne movie. Paul Giamatti is a teacher, and he's working over the Christmas break, and there's some students that don't have like rides home right away, or their parents maybe are out of the country or not around to pick them up, and he has to kind of look after a bunch of them, and he bonds with this kid. And I thought that was a good time, maybe a little bit too serious for my liking, but overall very solid film. Did you see that one?
Yes. Yeah, I thought it was very good. Definitely like even though it took place in the 60s or 70s, it did kind of reminded me of like having a childhood in miserable like Massachusetts. So it was nostalgic as it was kind of depressing.
I feel like every town has a lady who looks like Greg the Hammer Valentine. That's very true. That's very true. I was going to say something maybe not appropriate. Poor Greg. He makes a fine-looking woman. Have you ever dated any women that looked like Greg the Hammer Valentine? R.A., you don't have to answer that.
I can't even like pick him out of a lineup, but I'm pretty sure no.
Okay, that's fine. You don't have a Greg the Hammer kink, I guess. So what's your number 10?
My number 10 would be Dream Scenario.
Number 10 is Dream Scenario. Okay. And someone had asked Fernando, what movies make you uncomfortable? I'm sure that's one.
That's a masterpiece in cringe. Just yeah, like Nicolas Cage, like he plays like a college professor who's kind of this, he's both spineless and stubborn at the same time.
Yeah.
Just like kind of a very pathetic individual. Makes Paul Giamatti's character look like a Chad. And he starts like kind of randomly appearing in people's dreams, and he becomes an overnight celebrity. But then the people start having weird like dreams where he becomes violent, and he sort of becomes like the most hated man in America, and it becomes kind of like a like commentary on like cancel culture and all that. Then it kind of like takes a pivot towards the end, which I found like kind of jarring, so which knocked it down a few spots.
Yeah. It gets really depressing towards the end. Sometimes I think during movies like, oh, why do they have to do this? They could just have it be a cheesy happy ending. I don't mind cheese. Like, go for it. So The Holdovers was filmed in Massachusetts. So you said it felt like Massachusetts, and it was Massachusetts, but I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be like upstate New York or something, right?
No, I think no, I think it because I know that they went to Boston, like specifically they went to Boston.
Right, that's right. They went to Boston. Okay, so you're right. I'm wrong. Sorry. Someone wants to know the worst movie of 2023. That's Matt Johnson, Big Dirty.
I'll get to that later.
How's the lad pad going? He has a apartment he calls the lad pad, and he hangs out there all the time. We'll get to that. The worst movie. Now, yes. So that's your number 10 dream scenario. My number 9. A lot of people were kind of crapping on this movie. Some people said it's one of the worst of the year. There's no way. I enjoyed it a lot. Asteroid City, the new Wes Anderson film. Did you see that one?
Yes.
Okay, so I liked. It's a Wes Anderson movie. You know what you're gonna get, like all the funky cinematography, the bright colors, and panning cameras, and the just kind of low key characters. But this one is a little different. It's I think his only movie that has like sci-fi elements. They're in Arizona, and I don't even want to give away what happens because it's just so out of the blue. But I enjoyed that film. I think it's maybe in his top 5, and I enjoyed it. And you're not talking much about it because we kind of agreed like we're not gonna give away like R.A. is not going to go right now. Oh, that's my number 1 because it kind of spoils it. But I have a feeling by your face that you have that even higher up on your list. I could be wrong. But yeah, what's your number 9? Unless you want to talk about Asteroid City.
Right. Okay. All right. So yeah. Well, I have an explicitly sci-fi movie. Wait, are you? Say something. Show you're not frozen.
What's that? I was just reading a comment. Maybe you thought
moving slightly. Oh man, this is what.
You're good. Go. Keep going.
All right. All right. So my number 9.
Yeah.
My number 9 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I
okay.
think. And it's very interesting that I'm putting like a Marvel film in the top 10 the year that their empire is kind of crumbling.
Yeah.
But I think like in a lot of ways maybe emotionally affected me more than any movie this year. Kind of had a little bit of where the Wild Thing vibes are.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, this is like when I said that I came out of Dungeons and Dragons, like that was like the happiest. I was feeling like so happy. When I came out of Guardians 3, I was feeling like everything.
Yeah, it was definitely a good movie and not very generic. I'm reading the comments here. Someone put The Holdovers came out January 2nd. No, it didn't. That came out in November.
It's not January 2nd yet.
No, I think they meant of last year. Unless they mean it hasn't come out yet. Well, maybe they mean
I don't know. Maybe they mean like at a film festival or something.
I don't know. Possibly. And someone wants to know who let the dogs in. That's what I was thinking. Who let them in? Because you know the song "Who Let the Dogs Out." Well, it turns out like that was someone we had arranged that because I don't want dogs in here and like they might pee on my feet and stuff. I want to know who let them in. Right?
That song is like 23 years old now.
Yeah, it's like a fine wine. It just gets better. The references. I'm doing this for the Zoomers. The Zoomers like the who let the dogs out humor. Alrighty then. And then yeah, so I'm gonna tell you a little secret here. If you're ready. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, that came out way earlier in the year, so I don't remember much details about it. But that's my number 8 movie. I have that at number 8. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
What's your number 8?
My number 8 is Bottoms.
Okay. Babas. And
Right.
tell us
That's
about Bottoms. Oh,
all
so
right.
but holdovers comes to holdovers comes to Peacock on January 2nd. Cool.
Oh, okay. But see in theaters while you can. Support the industry. Otherwise, what are we gonna do?
What? Oh my God! Stink ass cat gave a huge donation. That is so cool, man. That's awesome. $50. Heck yeah! Alrighty then. So we're gonna have a contest. Stink ass cat is the winner so far. But if you can give more, that's what a crappy thing to say. A contest.
I don't think that's a
I'm just
contest.
kidding.
I think that's just a
Contest.
bribe.
We appreciate it. I got stream playing on 5 TVs in my house and on my phone. Ha! Ha! I want to be able to do Alf impression, but I don't do impressions. And Alf, of all people, seems like really hard.
I think I eat cats. I'm gonna eat
Yeah.
your cat. I'm gonna eat your pet in front of you and traumatize you. Kill me.
That's good. Now do his laugh.
I forget
It's
what his
just
laugh
funny,
is.
like he just says ha. He's like, ha!
Ah!
Yeah, there you go. R.A. Yo, Willie. Yeah, that's what he says.
So yeah, well, yeah, Bottoms. Yeah, if you haven't seen that, it's kind of like a cross between Superbad and Fight Club, but with lesbians.
Yeah, but let's go back to you're talking about Alf and then lesbians. I was gonna do a joke, but then there's a rapper who basically did the same joke.
Pussy.
Yeah, right. You don't have to go say it. There might be children watching R.A. You are R.A. Unleashed. Alrighty then. Yeah, so Bottoms, I'm going to tell you a little secret here. Bottoms is my number 7. And I don't think it's a like perfect movie. I kind of feel movies nowadays kind of just rely on like being awkward and like weird line readings than like actual jokes. And it also seemed like I wasn't even watching a real movie. It was just like a long episode of Broad City or Workaholics or something. But with that said, very what?
It was very stylized, kind of on purpose, but and that actually took a while to get into. But I think once they had like the quarterback with like a steak dinner for his school lunch, I was like, okay, this is now I get it.
So with that being said, I do like it. I did think it was good and funny throughout. It's not going to be my favorite movie ever, but I do feel that this is going to be a lot of people's favorite movie, and it's definitely going to be a cult movie. Forever.
Yeah, the Zoomers, you know, the who let the dogs in camp, who saw the movie with me, were like super, super into it, which made me happy.
So Robert says in the chat, Bottoms was on my worst list. I just couldn't get into it. And that I also understand that. I can understand that completely. There weren't I wanted to have a comedy movie on the list, and there weren't very many this year. There was Strays, and Cocaine Bear was kind of a comedy / horror. Strays was kind of lame. I was entertained enough, but I don't think I laughed out loud like a single time.
Yeah, I think yeah, I did. Well, I laughed like after like they woke up from their when they were like hallucinating playing with stuffed rabbits.
Yeah,
that got a but yeah, it wasn't like yeah, that wasn't great. It kind of flopped, which I'm kind of glad for Will Forte, because Will Forte like plays like the most unlikable characters, and that's a credit to him. But I don't think he would ever be able to get out of a speeding ticket after that movie if everyone knew who he was. He just plays like the most loathsome person ever.
Yeah. So Mike Holmes, Mike is fun, says the ace in R.A. stands for Alf. And then Robert, as his last name is hard to pronounce it, Gianchita. Giacinta. I can't read. I don't know if you ever knew that about me. I don't know how to read. Yeah, Resident Alien. That's Alf right there. And then did you see Super Mario? Yeah, we talked about Super Mario already. Just thought it was okay. There's people who defend the 1990s Super Mario and think it's a hidden gem. I definitely think the new Mario is better than that one. I do not like the old Mario at all. And this one was just kind of it was good. What do you think about the new Mario?
I'm just gonna put like this. You know how movies, like animated movies, have someone following their dreams, and it's usually like this super impossible dream. Like you can't be a short cook in a rat. They'll think you're too dirty for the restaurant, or like you can't be a Brazilian soccer player and be a snowman. That kind of
Yeah,
thing. Like with
yeah,
this, it's like you can't be a plumber, the most
yeah,
secure job ever. That's too hard. Like you're throwing it all away to have a respectable vocation.
yeah. What were they even throwing away to be plumbers?
Like being on the wrecking crew, like being demolition people.
Isn't that almost the same thing? Just
It's worse. It pays less, and it's less like it's harder to be a plumber, but like once you get the license, once you pass the trade school, it's like smooth sailing. It's not like being a musician or something.
I see. I see. Robert Gojinta. There we are. I got it. Yes. Very good. All right, man. Funny. And look. Wait, no, not yet. So, what's your number 7 movie?
My number 7 is Asteroid City.
Yeah. Ever hear that song? I love living in Asteroid City.
And also, yeah, no, I mean, like it's a little bit denser than Wes's usual movies, but I did like it. And also, I give it points for being the economic one movie Barbenheimer. Like, if you want like the Barbenheimer experience is one movie and you don't have a lot of time,
okay,
that's both Oppenheimer and Barbie at the same time in one movie.
That's a good way to look at it. Yeah, and it's fun. And there's a cute little surprise we're not going to give away. We're not even going to say what it is, but it happens in the movie. And you watch it and you go, what in the world? I see your lips moving. What are you reading the comments there?
No, I can't see the comments. So if you guys like, you can actually drag me all you want in the comments, and I won't like know.
Oh, don't do that. That'll hurt his feelings. Poor little R.A. Bartlett. So now we're going to go on to number 6. And here's the first time I'm going to cheat on the list and pray it doesn't happen again. I want to include a bunch of horror movies because they were all good, but like they're all number 6, so they're not like blowing me away. And usually it doesn't happen that a horror movie is my favorite, although it did happen last year where Barbarian was my favorite. So I'm going to give a shout out to a bunch of horror movies at number 6. First, Thanksgiving, which is the Eli Roth slasher. Did you see it?
No, you know me. I'm like a wuss.
Yeah.
You know, like whenever we went to see a horror movie, I'd be like,
oh no. So very good slasher movie for what slasher movies are, but at the end of the day, a slasher movie isn't going to be my favorite thing because it's just like a guy cutting people. There's not like much to it, and they're kind of past their heyday. And I feel if you tried to even recreate the old ones, it would just seem contrived. So there's no point. But for a modern slasher, it is what it could be. And I feel that Eli Roth is back to like being like almost as good as he used to be. Eli Roth started with so much potential, and then it seemed like he got sidetracked for almost 20 years. But it makes a good comeback.
This movie had a teaser trailer 15 years ago.
Yeah. What's the other? Oh, Machete. was another one that was like a fake trailer.
Yeah,
It's
Robert
probably
Rodriguez is like the opposite of that. He's like almost too prolific for his own good.
Mhm. I would say it's better than Machete. I like Machete though. And uh, what I Thanksgiving, another one that took place in Massachusetts.
Oh, this is our year.
Well, what do you mean our year? Neither of us is from Massachusetts.
I was born in Attleboro, so I can claim dual citizenship.
Okay. I kind of feel that if you're from Rhode Island, it's kind of a suburb of Boston anyway.
Yeah, it is part of the greater Boston metro.
Uh, Even though it's its own state with its own capital. Oh lordy! So yeah, Thanksgiving was good, and I loved like the Boston accents. It uh, was kind of surreal seeing Tim Dillon, the comedian, in a role there, who's now like super rich and successful. But I remember him back in the day just being a New York comedian. Uh,
Yeah, I've been on shows with him and other comics who stormed the Capitol.
well, Tim Dillon didn't storm the Capitol, did he?
No,
But
but you know
other comedians did.
he'll probably bail you out if you did though.
Yeah, he's super funny though. All politics aside. Okay, so let's continue here. A movie Talk to Me. I don't think it was as good as Thanksgiving, but I want to give that a shout out. Have you heard of that one?
Yeah, no, I know. Oh, it's like from Australia.
Yeah, the premise is kind of like dumb. Uh, it's about kids like hold on to this fake hand to go into this realm with like dead people, and it's kind of like I guess they get like high off of it, but like I don't understand why. They never explain why that would be a good experience. But you're presented it and you're just supposed to believe it, I guess. Uh and other than that little gripe with it, it's a good movie. And it was a fun time. And then another one I want to give a shout out to is a Shudder exclusive called When Evil Lurks. It's a Spanish movie, and it's kind of like it's crazy. I can't really even explain what's going on. It's like an outbreak of like a possession movie, but it's like mixed with a zombie movie where a bunch of people are getting possessed. And there's all these like rules that like everyone seems to understand in the movie, but it just is never fully explained. But that actually adds to it, and I think that makes it pretty cool. So When Evil Lurks is a good one. If you have Shudder, check that one out. And another one I want to give a shout out to was oh god, I forget what service it was on, but it's called No One Will Save You, which is a alien invasion movie with no dialogue. I think there's only one sentence of dialogue. Uh, and it's good because there's no dialogue. They really have to like focus on making like the action suspenseful, and they do. And that's a really good time. No One Will Save You. And another Shudder exclusive was called Influencer. Uh, I had guessed the ending like within the first 10 minutes, but besides that, it was a pretty good thriller. And that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. This video has been brought to you by Shudder.
Yeah. Heck yeah. When Evil Lurks was fantastic, says the Pepperoni Roll Bandit. I agree. Tim Dillon was great. Yes, he was great. He plays a security guard in Thanksgiving. I don't know if I said that. And he has like a kill scene and stuff. Spoiler alert. But yeah. And that's actually probably the funniest scene in the movie. There's a cute little kitty cat. Did R.A. do stand up too? Oh, yeah. You can look up R.A. on YouTube. He has his own channel. And he's got his stand up clips, and you'll be laughing and giggling.
Yeah, I still do it.
All... Yeah, he still does it. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Heck yeah.
All right,
Oh
so
yeah, No One Will Save You was on Hulu. That's what it was. I couldn't think of it at the time. Yeah.
all right, so my
French fried falcons. Oh, you better not have French fried falcons. What's your number 6 movie there? R.A. Bartlett, the stand-up comedian, who's on
it is
YouTube.
Poor Things, which is
Poor
like the newest thing I
things.
saw.
I forget which one that is.
All right, so that's Emma Stone plays a Frankenstein.
Oh, right. I thought that came out was coming out next year. I didn't even realize that came out.
It's in very limited release.
Okay.
Like I had to go like to kind of like a big metropolis to see it.
A big metropolis,
Like Boston, like Boston.
a big metropolis. You like Superman or something? Yeah. Okay. And go on.
So this might be a little bit polarizing for people because Yorgos Lanthimos, I don't if we're getting to hard to pronounce names. He makes he made The Lobster.
Movie sucks.
I love The Lobster. The Lobster touched my autistic heart.
Poor little lobby. Yeah, I wasn't into The Lobster. And what else did he make?
The Favorite.
Piece of crap. No, that one was I'm just kidding. That one was a little bit better. I didn't like The Lobster. The Favorite, still a little bit too out there for my personal taste. But yeah, The Favorite was better. When I watch movies, call me crazy.
And Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. But yeah, when I watch movies, I want to understand what's happening. Is that too much to ask?
You gotta tune into the emotional truths. But actually, this is actually one of his easier movies to follow. It's also like his most like sentimental movie. Okay, so it kind of has that. So it's kind of like two very distinct tastes. It's like a pretzel and an M&M.
Okay.
If that M&M was like gross.
Oh no, I'm not against seeing it. And because you said it's his most easy to get into movie, that's fine. And yeah, anything else you want to say about it?
Just don't. So like I said, she plays a Frankenstein character, but don't make Frankenstone jokes because Stein already means stone in German, so that pun is redundant.
Okay. Oh, huh. Very good, R.A. And don't you have a Frankenstein joke?
Yes.
What is it?
You want me to do the Frankenstein joke?
Yeah.
Well, people always say like, oh, like Frankenstein, you mean Frankenstein's monster because Frankenstein's the scientist, but the scientist is like his dad, so he gets to have the Frankenstein surname. It's not like we call Charlie Sheen Martin Sheen's monster.
Oh! Take that, Charlie. Good old, he's Chuck, and he's raring to.
I'm getting him.
Whoa, don't say it. You're going to get us in trouble with the FCC. Can we move on to number 5?
Yes.
Is that all right? So my number 5 movie is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. I had a good time with that one. Is that a film that you've seen?
Yes.
I just enjoyed it. I thought it was fun, refreshing, telling new spin on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Some people probably don't like that it changed some stuff up, but 30 years have passed. You should try something different. And what's that?
It was in some ways though like a throwback to like when the action figures were like slimy and like have like bugs on them and stuff.
Yeah. So it's not better than 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But like I would probably rather watch it than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, which is all right, but yeah, it was just a pretty good movie. Written by Joe Rogan, kind of maybe
Seth
has
Rogen.
A little bit Joe Rogan. Yes, Seth Rogen. Maybe has a little bit too much Seth Rogen humor, not a perfect movie, but a very good time. And I liked it better. I don't remember. We talked about the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse in this stream, or was it in the 5 minutes that?
Yeah, though
aired?
I think they missed it. Yeah,
yeah. Anyways, I don't know if we talked about Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, but I liked it better than that. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is like the second movie in an obvious trilogy, and I kind of don't like when that happens, except for Back to the Future 2. But I don't like when that happens because you get all the like conflict in one movie. Like I like a resolution. Yeah. So yes. Sorry, what?
I almost don't want to follow up because I just think it would be like a funny kind of satire of comic book movies if it just ended on a cliffhanger, nothing happened after that. I would upgrade it. I would upgrade it as a big sort of meta commentary.
Yeah. So I got a comment. Joe Rogan TMNT would be something. Yeah, they're like on DMT the whole time, and they're just like huge from lifting weights.
The new villain, Horse Paste.
No, that's not a villain. That's a supplement that they. Well,
Right,
maybe at first he's like their buddy,
DMT
and then it
villain?
becomes the villain. That's what Horse Paste. They love it. So, another animated movie. I talked about. I don't like convoluted movies that much. I would rather. There's very few. Every now and then, I like a weird, spaced out, whacked out movie. Like I love Eraserhead, and there's some like Jodorowsky movies I like a lot. But most of the time, I want things to be down to earth. The Boy and the Heron was a heron. The Boy and the Heron. Yeah. I mean, that's how you pronounce it. Was just a little bit WTF at times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're not saying much,
I liked it,
which makes me think you have that on your list. I'm just gonna guess. So yeah, what's your number 5?
Oppenheimer.
Number 5 is Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say about it?
Like I said, just like it was like a very good, very interesting. I was the like I said, it definitely takes like a long time to pick up, but it has one of my favorite quotes. They're after you not just because you're self-important, but because you're actually important.
So the movie, a good way to describe. It just seemed like it was guys sitting around like a boardroom. Is that the case?
That's there's a big chunk of that. And I think also I think like it has like a super stat cast, like everybody is in it, just like Christopher Nolan is like, hey, 3-time Oscar winner, why don't you play like Oppenheimer's old high school coach or something? But I think it made good use of like Casey Affleck, an actor who kind of has a creepazoid reputation right now, where he plays like kind of an obstructive general, and I think that's a good use for actors for people don't like because it's Oppenheimer. They're building the atomic bomb. You kind of don't want to root for them to succeed. But then, like it's like Casey Affleck is like the obstructive general. Like, no, you build that bomb. You show him.
Yeah. Maybe I'll see it someday. Let's get to some questions here. Jimmy D-Bag, he likes movies that make me think. I like those too, but I don't want them to be like. I'd rather have it take place in this reality and not, I don't know, talking birds that are elderly men.
They're called tengus.
I don't know what that is. Surreal Cinema says, boo, that's scary. You're scaring me there, Graham. Pepperoni Roll Bandit. I hated the Spider-Man movie. Completely agree. People booed at the ending. Yeah, boo. I would say boo to a goose. Love the Flea Market Falcon question. Are there any new movies that aren't cartoons or comic book characters? Well, yeah, we talked about a bunch so far. Like we had John Wick, The Holdovers, Asteroid City, Bottoms, a bunch of horror movies, Thanksgiving, Talk to Me, When Evil Lurks, No One Will Save You, Influencer. And yeah. What happened to Stink Ass Cat? Are you still there? Stink Ass Cat is the winner of the night. He's number one. No offense to everyone else. Everyone else is number two. No, just kidding. I love everyone. So yes. Yeah. So number 5 for me was TMNT, and for you it was Oppenheimer. Isn't that funny? Like just how completely different those movies are.
I would love for one to be the prequel to the other.
Yeah.
Huh. Like imagine like if Oppenheimer was like the scientist in Secret of the Ooze.
Okay. That'd be good. Yeah, I do think
that would be his redemption, just creating 4 hero turtles.
It would be funny if they had movie sequels that completely change everything. It's just like one character. It's just like even mentioned and officially a sequel. Yeah. So can we talk about number 4?
Mm-hmm.
Number 4 is the Iron Claw. Wrestling movie about the Von Erichs. Everyone has seen the ad. They've been. Oh, one thing I don't know is I was wondering, is this showing ads on YouTube? Like I turned it on the lowest thing, so many ads wouldn't show. But I don't know if they're showing ads and what happens if they do show ads. But anyways, Iron Claw is my number 4, and they were advertising it a lot on YouTube. And I would always watch the advertisement the whole time because it makes very good use of the band's Rush, the song Tom Sawyer. Very good trailer. The movie isn't my number 1 because it's a biopic, and I kind of feel it suffers from what most biopics are, which is kind of, even though this is a very well done biopic, it's slightly generic. The characters aren't really in depth at all. It's just, I like wrestling, I like my brothers. They don't really go much beyond that. It's not as good as the movie The Wrestler. Like you get to know Mickey Rourke's character in The Wrestler, Ram Jam, a lot better than you get to know these characters, I feel. But still a great movie. Definitely go see it. And you didn't see it, so you don't have too much to talk about that. Yeah. So what's your number 4?
My number 4 is Godzilla -1.
Okay. Yeah, so tell us about that one.
It is like a very Spielbergian take on Godzilla, I think. Like it's like a lot like Jaws and his War of the Worlds movie.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like very very like emotional and crowd pleasing, and like Godzilla is like a background character in this in a way he usually isn't, but that kind of makes him more menacing.
Uh-huh.
And also because it's kind of weird. I saw it like around Christmas, and I'm like, do I really want to see Godzilla's Christmas movie? But I do want to say it's this generation's It's a Wonderful Life.
Nice. So I saw it, and it's interesting how dramatic it is. It really like focuses on like the destruction that Godzilla caused and how it ruined like this guy's life. And also, no, wait, I'm sorry. It wasn't really Godzilla at first that ruined his life. It's that he like was a kamikaze pilot and didn't complete his mission.
Right.
So everyone in town like looks down on him. And then Godzilla is also attacking. So he kind of maybe a slight spoiler, but maybe he like gets the chance to redeem himself. And yeah, when they show Godzilla, it's the best looking Godzilla in any Godzilla movie, and the action scenes are fantastic. It's just not. Okay, I might as well say now it's number 3 on my list, and yeah, the reason it's not number 1 is it's maybe just a little bit too dramatic, where it could have had like a little bit more action, and then it would have been my absolute favorite. But as it is, it was awesome. Yes, he was a very handsome Godzilla. Anything else about Godzilla?
No, I think I covered that. I think.
Oh, you did you? I'm Godzilla.
Oh, that's a handsome boy.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but I'm going to destroy your entire city.
Well,
So
you
yes.
gotta do.
Well, he doesn't have to. He does it to get his jollies.
Yeah, this is probably like the most sadistic Godzilla on screen. He's like beyond a force of nature, but actually like kind of a dick.
Yeah. Godzilla. Yeah, definitely go see that one. Godzilla -1. So that's like a fun way to say it's a prequel.
Yeah, it could be chronologically predates any depiction of Godzilla so far.
Yeah. So Michael says he hasn't really enjoyed a Godzilla movie. I think you would like this one. Yeah. I saw like the 1990s Godzilla in theaters and did not like that.
No, I hate like the 90s style disaster movie. That might be my least favorite genre.
Yeah, and then second is 2000s disaster movie.
No, 2000s disaster movies are like the 2008 disaster movie parody.
Uh-huh.
Oh god. Yeah, those guys are awful.
Yeah. Rhett, I like watching your videos. Thank you, Rhett. Am I saying that right? Rhett, thank you. So let's see here. So I said my number 3 was Godzilla -1.
Yep.
What's your
The Holdovers?
Okay, so you had yours much higher on the list. That was my number 10. So you thought The Holdovers was better than Asteroid City. I was kind of conflicted. And like I said before, this list could change tomorrow. I could decide, you know what? I actually liked that movie better than this one. I think I would be more likely to watch Asteroid City again. But yeah, tell us why you liked The Holdovers.
Well, I think like it's just like a very immersive movie. Just like I said, like really takes you back to just kind of like what it's like to be like really sad around the holiday season. Like actually, getting a little personal. My grandfather actually died like last Christmas.
Sorry, R.A.
So she's like, so that kind of melancholy, with like everybody else trying to enjoy themselves and get on with their lives, like it really like hit me.
Huh. So you had a good time with that one.
Or I don't even a cathartic time.
Yeah. Well, that's what I meant. Sometimes I just say things without thinking of what it actually means. So that was the problem there. Anything else? That's it. Does that wrap up The Holdovers?
Yep.
A little bit off topic, but yesterday I watched The Descendants for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also Alexander Payne. And God, that movie is takes a very depressing premise and really does a good job of not making it as depressing as it should be, but it's still super depressing. Okay, so yeah. Number 2. You had this way high up on your list. My number 2 movie is Dream Scenario. Good old Nicolas Cage. Everyone's dreaming about him. And we had already talked about this. But yeah, I just thought it was very entertaining. there's this part where this girl like is romantically interested in him in her apartment. It's just so inappropriate, and like I was laughing hard during that scene. Let me tell you, it ends nicely. Um, and yeah, it's only number 2, I feel, because the ending did like another example. Like, why not just have it end nice? Just have a happy ending. You don't have to make everyone sad. People want us.
Well, I think it was like a nice bittersweet thing.
Yeah. So that's my
But like,
number
I
2.
think there's like a plot twist. I think.
Let me guess your number 2.
I will say.
Huh?
Oh well, I also like something I wanted to say about Dream Scenario is in a lot of ways follows the plot of the movie Tar.
I haven't seen Tar.
Well, I've spoiled it for you because you've watched the movie. It's like a lot of what happens in that movie. It's,
Yeah.
even though they're very different characters.
Okay. Have you ever had tartar sauce?
Like what is that?
Tartar
Oh,
sauce.
yes, I have. Like, I usually don't like eating it, but if it's already on the sandwich, I'll live with it.
I don't like when people pronounce it that way, like they say tartar twice. You just pronounce it like you're from New England. Tata
Todd,
sauce. That's how it's supposed to be said. I had
Todd,
a
I'll
teacher.
kill you. I'll kill all of you.
Yeah. Well, don't do that. Don't threaten violence on people. All right. No, just kidding. So I had a teacher who would pronounce Virginia. She would pronounce the I, the third I, Virginia. I've also heard people, instead of advertisements, they say advertisements. Have you heard that one?
Yes,
I've heard
those
Brits.
people should be shunned from society.
Oh no. I think this is a British
You know,
thing. I've heard people, they call them no, like an inventory, like a collection of stuff you have, like in a video game inventory screen. They call it the inventory. You ever hear that? My inventory.
maybe I do like the way they pronounce schedule.
Schedule?
Schedule.
Yeah. Grocery store.
All
Tartar.
right.
Uncooked meat sauce. Yeah, heck yeah. Bad Santa does it for me. Oh, Mike is fun says, R.I.P. Grandpa. I went to Block Island with Michael, and it was fun. This surreal cinema. He like War of the Worlds. Poor Thing is a masterpiece of absurdity. Poor Things. My mom used to say envelope instead of I'm going to assume that's you can either say envelope or envelope. I say envelope. Okay, so what's your
It's
number 2?
envelope unless it's a wedding. All right, my number 2 is Past Lives.
Okay, I haven't seen that one. What's that one about?
It's a very low key movie. It's about like a girl moves to Korea and goes to New York. Well, she lives in I think Canada for a while, but is an adult in New York now. And like she kind of hooks up with like her childhood boyfriend. And it kind of forms a love triangle, and it's a very very quiet movie in a lot of ways. It's very subdued, but it's like you know how people are like, oh, I need to go see something on the big screen because it's big and flashy. But I think this is like why like a more quiet, low key movie is a big, because you just the body language and sort of the atmosphere. Like when she's like in the country, you can hear the crickets like chirping really loudly, or when she's in her apartment, which was a lot like the apartment we had in Bed-Stuy, where you hear like cars and noises at night, and it's just so it's so incredibly like subsumes you in a way that without even saying much.
Oh, okay. So you don't need to see it in IMAX.
That would be very interesting, but it's probably I don't think it had an IMAX run. I think it didn't take advantage of the Dune cavity. They should have gone for it. Should have booked some IMAX theaters when the strike happened, but no.
Okay. Some comments here. Oh, some worst of the year. Yeah, we'll get into that before we get to number one.
Oh, all right. So yeah, okay.
British people say that Barbie was awesome too, surprisingly. Someone says, I liked Barbie a lot until the third act, and it kind of you just got punched in the face with the lessons
Uh-huh.
over and over and over and over, and it kind of slowed down the movie. I'm not trying to be all, they should cancel it type of guy, but yeah. Oh, the art direction in Barbie was fantastic, and like the I don't know set design, I guess, whatever you call it. Yeah, so Barbie was good, way better than it should have been, but not good enough to be on my favorite list. And Prey could be number one. Do you mean the Predator movie? Because I'm pretty sure that came out last year.
Yeah,
I
you
could be
ranked that in your top 10.
Yeah. Doom Cavity sounds like an adult film. Oh, it is. It's a good one. I have it on PSP UMD. Ooh, I almost wore the darn thing up. Let's not even go there, girl. Some of the worst of the year. So I didn't see many worst of the year movies because, like, I'm not gonna like pay $11 to. Oh, let's see how bad 80 for Brady is. Like, I know it's crap. I don't.
Well, no, you're wrong there. 80 for Brady is that's a classic.
Yeah. Did you actually see it?
I did see it. It's fine for its audience.
Was it?
Yeah.
Like he hasn't. Like it came. I think it was made like 4 years ago or something. Like he's like changed teams since then and has retired. Uh, just kind of weird. I don't know much about the footballers, but yeah, and like I don't know. I said that like Strays wasn't great, but it's not bad either, so it's not worth being on the list. But let's see here. I forget the name of the movie. What's it called? Oh, my least favorite movie was by the makers of Black Dynamite, the same actor, and that actor was the star of both movies, and it's Outlaw Johnny Black. And I really thought it was going to be funny because Black Dynamite is funny, but it wasn't. It's 2 hours and 15 minutes, and sometimes the movie is a comedy, I think, but then I think they forget it's a comedy and they'll go 20 minutes without a funny scene. What was interesting is I saw it in the theater, and there was these kids behind us, and they were laughing hysterically, and I didn't know what they were laughing at. I'm pretty sure they were tripping. Like I don't know. Like I just didn't like it at all. I was very disappointed.
All right.
What's your worst movie?
I have a bottom 5.
Yeah. Hello, Steven, right. Chief Speaker. How are you? Sorry. Yeah, Joe. But yeah, Prey was awesome. I thought that was great. Worst for me, Skinamarink. Yeah, I heard that was bad. Hey, Steve, what's going on? So yeah, what are your top 5 worst movies? All right.
All right. So number 5, I have as Mafia Mama.
Haven't even heard of it.
Yeah, no. It was made by Catherine Hardwicke. Like basically, it's this mom whose husband cheats on her, and it turns out she's inheriting, like her grandfather was a mafia don, and so she goes to Italy to learn to be in the mafia, and she has this total wine mom energy, this yoga mom energy, and but Monica Bellucci, the hottest woman to ever live, is like kind of her person who teaches her the ropes, who kind of like helps her politic it. And it's a very like tonally weird movie where one moment it's like this goofy comedy, and the next minute a guy's getting his eye gouged out. So it's
sounds
just
like a David Lynch movie or something.
Right. Just it really doesn't know what it wants to be. It's like the epitome of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Then 4 I have Renfield.
Okay.
which is a.
I saw it. I didn't completely hate it. I thought it was just mindless fun. Whatever.
Yeah, like I just think like they kind of did. There are so many things they were like, oh, are they gonna go this direction? They kind of backtracked it, and are the two main characters a couple? Um, are you supposed to believe that? Like, I think the conceit of making a familiar a superhero was a weird one.
Yeah, I hear you. So in the chat, Nino, cocaine bear was poop. He says, or she says. I think it's a he, or maybe both, or neither. Shouldn't assume.
It's not a great movie, but it's a great movie to get drunk to. Like take a shot every time someone says cocaine in the most southern fried accent. That'll get you going.
Yeah, I didn't mind cocaine beer. I put on the same. I think it's a little bit better than Renfield. All right. Bo is afraid. Robert says the worst for him where Bo is afraid. I didn't see that, or is it Bew is afraid? Bo or
I
Bew?
think it's Bo, but yeah, I mean that's like a weird movie. I didn't love it, but I kind of respected it a little bit.
Okay,
and
so
I think it was better than Napoleon, which was like Bo is afraid, but like on a larger scale.
Okay, and people aren't liking Skinamarink, which is this weird experimental horror movie. I haven't seen it, and Bottoms. So no one in the chat likes Bottoms, but we liked it.
We are bottom heads. We're part of Bottom Nation. So number three, I have 65, which is like it's a movie about a guy from space who lands on a different planet. It turns out that planet is Earth on the day that dinosaurs were supposed to be wiped out.
Oh no.
And it's a very short movie, but it is a real slog. It is the longest 90 minutes I have ever felt in a theater.
Oh no. And
I think they're trying to be like Logan. Like even the young girl looked like a clone of the guy who played Wolverine's daughter. It was just so it's like very derivative and boring, just like because I have some really long movies on my top 10. Oh man, how am I
what?
I now I have to improv a Rodney Dangerfield impression talking about a dinosaur movie. Like, I'll think of something while you talk. But number two,
what?
Number two, number two.
Yeah.
Wish.
I haven't heard of that one either.
That's the supposed to be that was Disney's big movie on their 100th year.
Okay. Oh, right. The animated movie.
Yeah. So it's just like very So I think like you know how like a lot of people like complain about and I think you were referring to that earlier with Barbie. Like people are just mad like, oh, this movie's trying to be woke. They have a black mermaid. Like, oh, they're trying to indoctrinate kids into believing mermaids could be black. Like that kind of and it's a very stupid criticism most of the time. But I feel like this movie was trying to lecture me, but I don't know about what. Because like nothing about it is like applicable to any like real life situation. It's like they're trying to teach me critical wishing star theory or something. Just like what's the lesson? And I think it also comes down to the villain. The Chris Pine plays a villain, but he's like the most cream puff villain, where he's just like not threatening at all, and he's not funny either. Like, because you could have a Disney villain who's not scary if he's funny, but he's not funny either. Like you can't be handsome and funny. Matt Rife taught us that this year. But like he's just like very I don't know. It was just, and it's just like I think like they're trying to throw in Easter eggs, which were annoying and didn't really amount to much.
Okay, all right.
And so my worst movie.
Wait, hold on. Before that, Gary says, "Sup guys? Hey Gary, what's going on?" And Brian Holmes didn't like Guardians of the Galaxy 3. We like that one. Haven't seen Plane or Ambulance. OPP was overrated. I don't know what that is. OPP. Oh, Oppenheimer. Right.
Uh,
I thought he was talking about like the Naughty by Nature's biopic, maybe, or something. Uh,
I
do,
did
do,
see
do,
Plane.
do, 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 do.
I did see Plane. Plane wasn't great, but like it was kind of like what it needed to be, just like an matinee kind of thing. It's important for the ecosystem. It's like snails. You don't love snails, but you're glad that snails are out there being good for the plants.
Okay, that's good. Very good. Movie that kind of seemed preachy but didn't know what it was preaching, or just didn't bother to tell you what it was preaching, was How to Blow Up a Pipeline. Uh, yeah, I'm taking it you didn't see that one.
No, and I meant to, but yeah, I couldn't get to it in time.
It was just like for an hour and a half, you're watching people build a bomb. It's not very exciting. There's some kind of well shot and some suspense, but also kind of pointless. Not on the worst list by far, but I saw someone else put that in their top 10. I was like, no, get out of here. So did you say I'm sorry, did you say your number one worst movie?
No, I'll get to that right now.
Yeah.
The Flash.
Okay, I didn't see that either.
So all I can say is just like Ezra Miller has become a controversial figure, but they are very annoying, and you see two Ezra Millers for 2 hours. And it is
Yeah.
the Ezra Miller does not have good chemistry with Ezra Miller.
Uh,
But also like it looks so fake. Like I'm not like a big superhero hater, but just so much of the movie just looked absolutely not like real people. Um and also the score was like very weird for a superhero movie. Like the score sounded like it belonged to a 90s movie about a kid inheriting a hotel.
oh,
That's what the soundtrack belonged to, not like a superhero. So yeah, it was just, and it just felt like pointless. Um, and that's something that happens with a lot of time travel movies, where just like I'm like, well, why did I spend 2 hours with a character who just undid everything that happened for the last 2 hours?
uh-huh. Yeah,
So
no,
yeah,
I hear you. I didn't want to see that. Did you see Marvels?
yeah.
Is that okay?
I didn't hate it. I'm sure a lot of people find it cringy. I thought like the three leads worked with each other really well.
Okay. So looking at the movies, I kind of think I know what your number one might be, and I think it might be an animated movie. Don't say, but yeah. So before we get to that, just a few others I wanted to talk about. Like Dumb Money was kind of just okay, and that it's very kind of similar feeling to a movie called Air. Dumb Money is about the GameStop stocks, and Air is about like Air Jordan, but Michael Jordan isn't really in it. There's a character who plays Air Jordan, but like they never show his face and he doesn't talk or anything. Uh, it's about the shoes. Just wanted to say that those are very similar feeling movies. They're both all right. Uh, and
Yeah,
Creed
Blackberry
3
is
is
also in that genre.
what's that?
Blackberry is kind of in that genre.
Oh, I didn't see that one. Creed 3 is a kind of pointless movie. It's all right. If you're going to see a sports movie, see Iron Claw instead. Uh, and yeah, let's get to our number one. And my number one, you had it way down on the list. Oh, people are going to roll their eyes when I say this one. My number one movie, guess what it is? You can't guess. It's Dungeons and Dragons Honor Amongst Thieves. I had so much fun watching that. Perfect popcorn movie. And all movies should be enjoyed with popcorn. So that makes it the best movie, in my opinion, of 2023. Perfect for what it is, just enjoyable throughout. Very different than like the 1990s Dungeons and Dragons.
The 2000 movie is like one of the worst movies ever made.
Oh, that's what I mean. 2000s. Yeah. Uh, and I don't even like fantasy movies that much most of the time. They're not my favorite. But yeah, that's just how much I liked Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah. Anything
Yeah,
else
no,
you want to say about the movie? It's been so long since I saw that. I think it came out like in February or something.
yeah, like I think when I saw it, like what really I was like when they had like the transforming chase sequence.
Yeah.
That was like, all right, they really got something here. I think that, and then once they got to the overweight dragon, I'm like, okay, this movie cooks.
Uh-huh.
That was like a perfect, like they really good like implementation of like really exciting action sequences, but also like very funny.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's very good. I saw a few minutes of the what are those movies like Mockingbird or Hunger Games,
Hunger Games.
and I had no idea what was going on. I went to the movies early and I just popped into it to kill some time, uh, and I had no idea what was going on.
Oh yeah, no,
Jason
that's
Schwartzman
got
was
some.
in it, and he had a funny mustache. I don't know. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Yeah. So, what's your number one movie? Is it The Boy and the Heron?
No, it is actually the probably the exact opposite of an animated movie, although it does kind of have a little it is Killers of the Flower Moon.
Okay, so yeah, that's the one I mentioned I didn't watch because it's 3.5 hours. I think I probably would have liked it, but it seemed to be in and out of theaters pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean it's like it's the first hour especially can be pretty dry.
Uh-huh.
But it really like the more you get into it, like it really hits you. And I think some people like the last couple minutes or so is maybe controversial to people, but it to me it like really hits it. It really ties it together.
Uh-huh. Well, good.
But
Very good.
I think some people might find it to be different than the movie they're advertising. And that's always like very like that can be a loaded gun when you do that. When you give
Is it like a
movies.
pretty action movie? It almost seems like it could be like Coen Brothers, like No Country for Old Men type.
It probably is more like that, but um, so I don't. From what what I feel like the movie makes Leonardo DiCaprio's character like more of a good guy than he is in the movie. He's
Okay.
not a good guy at all in the movie. He's like the worst.
Okay. And that's one that like I thought about like renting online. I usually never rent movies to stream, but I thought about doing it just to see it because but it was $20 to rent the movie, to rent it. And like I don't care about like even if it was $20 to own digitally, like no, I don't care. I don't want to own a download. I would rent it for like
I wonder if
$5.
it'll ever be. I do
What's
wonder
that?
if it'll ever be available physically. I don't. I wonder if it'll ever be available physically because it's an Apple movie.
Oh, okay. Uh, yeah, I'm sure it will be. I don't really know much about how they release Apple movies, but so is this like the first must-see Apple exclusive?
Um, I mean, like I do think it's like a must see. Like I think like they were the ones who made like the Best Picture winner from a couple of years ago.
Okay.
But but no, like this is like a Martin Scorsese epic, so it's
Yeah.
definitely like worth checking out. You never know if it'll be like his last.
Uh-huh. Uh yeah. So we went through all the movies. Yeah. Anything else you wanted to talk about? Did you see Indiana Jones?
Yeah. Um, I kind of got a little bored with it.
Yeah.
After a while, I think like it's just so funny. The his goddaughter. Well, it's kind of funny how the Indiana Jones movies, like everyone just introduces somebody from his past that
Uh-huh.
we never met before, but they're
Okay.
apparently the most important person in his life.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was all right. What do you think was better, Mission Impossible or Indiana Jones?
Oh, Mission Impossible by like a pretty sizable margin.
Okay. I agree that that's the better movie, but I like the world of Indiana Jones more. So I think I give it. I think I might have had a little bit more fun with Indiana Jones. I didn't think Indiana Jones was as bad as some people say.
Yeah, like I mean, I was actually not. I think for a lot of franchise movies, I didn't dislike a lot of them.
Uh,
Like I said, like I have two basic franchise movies on my top 10 list. Oh, I might as well talk about The Boy because you thought that was gonna be my number one.
yeah.
And I don't know, maybe it's because I have like so much love for Miyazaki movies that I didn't love this one. Kind of like disappointed me a little bit.
How come?
Um, I think I maybe it was just a little too stream of consciousness, like for me.
Yeah.
Um, uh, maybe because just I found the bird like just then it was maybe the designs were a little more generic than I'm used to because the guy can come up with like the most bizarre imagery.
Uh,
Uh, maybe I was there was one moment where I'm watching it where like wait is this a pro life movie? Like if we're getting to politics.
uh,
Because they're like, no, those birds, they're going to eat the little unborn babies.
uh. Was that movie more out there than most of his other movies?
I don't know. I don't think it's like more bizarre, but it was like more, it was quieter and kind of more contemplative.
Okay.
Like it's not as story driven a movie as a lot of his are.
Uh-huh. So I know you didn't see this movie, but a lot of people seem to like Evil Dead Rise. I wasn't as into that one.
Uh huh.
It just didn't feel like Evil Dead to me. The last 20 minutes is really good though. So it does kind of almost redeem itself.
Does it take itself more seriously than?
Yes. Yeah. You don't have
Because I know.
Ash doing one-liners and whatnot.
Yeah, like, I mean, like to give you the point, like how much of a wimp I am about horror movies is Army of Darkness is by and far my favorite. I think Army of Darkness is one of my favorite movies overall.
okay. Uh like of all time?
Yeah,
Okay,
like probably in my top 50.
I was gonna say that I might be giving it too much credit, and people are gonna look at me like I'm a crazy weirdo. Dungeons and Dragons might be just as good as Army of Darkness.
No, I think, Lacey, I think that's like a very valid. Like, I think, Lacey, I think, D&D did everything like a movie like that should do. I really had such a good time with that. Um, but Lacey, just like I guess I like things to be a little bit darker for my all
Yeah.
timers.
Okay. Okay.
But no, I did I got a little misty eyed.
Yeah. Poor R.A.
No, well, it was
Okay.
actually this is fine. Like, so
Yeah.
my mom is like super religious,
Yeah.
so I'm like, I think she might like this movie. So I'm like, no, let's go see this movie. He's like, I don't know, but then she like looked it up and said like that the church actually isn't against it, that the whole murder thing in the '80s was a lie. She's like,
Yeah.
oh, that was
Oh my
actually,
God. She thought it was like that. Satan was going to be summoned into the theater.
but no,
There's
well,
a.
but like then we saw it. She's like, wow, no, that movie is like really, really good.
Oh, cool. Cool. Yeah.
Because
So that.
well, like well, her favorite character probably by far was the druid,
Yeah.
because number one, like like it's evocative of like her Irish heritage, but also she thought the owl bear is just
Uh,
was the cutest thing ever.
oh, that's nice. Uh, so yeah, with D&D and the Satanic Panic of the '80s, there's this clip online of a woman on a talk show, and she's like, "Yeah, and my son, he summoned a demon into the living room." Which is so funny because no, he didn't. He didn't do that while playing Dungeons and Dragons. You're a liar, or you were hallucinating, and hallucinated demons don't count. So yeah, that's just kind of funny.
Did you ever see that? Are you familiar with Chick Tracks?
What?
Chick Tracks.
No.
They're like these little black and white comic books made by this hyper religious guy.
Uh-huh.
And he made one about like a sort of Dungeons and Dragons type game called Dark Dungeons.
Yeah.
And so basically in it, like the kids like actually believe that the characters and a girl kills herself because her character died. And she's like, you don't exist anymore.
Uh,
And so like basically it has the funniest line where a character says, I don't want to be Elfstar anymore. I want to be Debbie.
yeah. Yep. They sure are out there.
But no, it is a good movie. It's worth hanging out with Satan. If this is the kind of movies that Satan's making, I think Satan's a pretty nifty guy.
Yeah. I guess it could have been a little bit darker or just more like played into the satanic panic thing. Like ever hear of a game called Brutal Legend, which is Jack Black is a roadie and how it has like heavy metal music through it. Like if this movie had heavy metal and stuff, that would have been cool.
They did have like I do wonder, like they had like Led Zeppelin playing in the trailers.
Oh right. I forgot if that's in the movie or not. Probably not.
No. The ending is like pretty they have like Tame Impala does the end song.
Okay. All right. Well, we went through all the movies. My ADHD is kicking in, so I've been playing with this piece of paper for the past 10 minutes or so. We should probably wrap this up, but any final thoughts? And thanks for everyone. There's Mortal Kenny joined us. I'll have to watch the entire video, but hope Thanksgiving made it on. Spoiler alert, it did for me. Yeah. Kenny, we know him. Bold statement on D&D, I know.
No, yeah, that's what I love about
what's the most enjoyable. I know it's not the best filmmaking. I know it's not the best script. I know it's not the best special effects. That would be Godzilla. I know it's not the best of anything, but it's combined. Total made it my favorite movie.
Yeah, that's what I love about you, James. Is just you have absolutely no ideology walking into a movie. You're just like, well, does it give me the dopamine hit?
Yeah. D&D almost made Tom Hanks jump off a building. I saw that movie, Mazes and whatever.
Yeah, Mazes and Monsters.
Yeah. Elliott Smith joined.
Well, you know what? FedEx almost got Tom Hanks stranded on an island, but nobody's protesting them.
Yeah, Elliott Smith asks, "Hey Elliott, what pinball do I like? Well, I like Twilight Zone. I like Indiana Jones. I like a lot of ones from the mid to late '80s, like Pinbot and Bride of Pinbot, and one called Fire, and there's two like amusement park ones. I forget the name, and yeah, there's a bunch of others." Yeah, good ones. Thank you. Mazes and Monsters. Yeah. Heck yeah. All right, everyone. I thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And I thank you, R.A., for joining us. And yeah, you have some stand-up on YouTube if people want to go watch that. R.A. Bartlett is his name. R.A. Those are initials. And then Bartlett, like the pear. Heck yeah. Okay. Bye, everyone. Toodaloo. Thank you. And that's it. Okay. Making it awkward here. End stream. See you. All right. Bye.